Hello, YouTube. Welcome to my channel, Marriage, Politics, and Sports. Today, we're going to be talking about alienation. Uh, I think it goes underreported. I think it should be a crime, and it's kind of the beginnings of, or at least one of the fundamental reasons why our communities, and especially in the inner cities, raise really, really destructive children into destructive adults, both men and women. Women carry on the generational curses by having illegitimate kids and reject men of all kinds and pick the wrong guys based on this because they don't have a father figure. And the men grow up to be Spartans, bodies of Adonis, strong, but the mentality and the emotions of women, which is not only dangerous, it's also deadly. And so, and it's a vicious cycle. It just keeps going on and on and on. So, before I go further, I just want you to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. One of the things I want to do with this is I have a Monday show on the Black Man Unfiltered Network. And so, this is one of the topics I'm going to talk about because I think it goes very much underreported. We know it's there, but we don't talk about it enough. We talk about deadbeat dads. I mean, they contribute to that same bad child rearing. But I think most fathers, when given the chance and given ease of access, will take responsibility for their kids, whether they're in the home or out of the home. The fathers who pay child support, who have regular jobs, they definitely want to see their kids, or else they try to fight it a lot more. And this is not about men not trying to get their kids. I say a lot of men do. A lot of lawyers tell them that it's a hopeless cause, but that has nothing to do with the kids not being, the fathers not being in the kid's life. There's a lot of information out there about uh, parental alienation of one parent from the kids. And the thing is that it's a known fact that women are twice or more likely to be the perpetrators, partially because they're the ones who have custody of the children for the most part. So that's a kind of natural occurrence. They have the kids more, so their numbers are going to be more. But there's horror stories all over the place, and you'll be hard pressed to find a cadre of men doing the same thing to their women. It does happen. It does happen, but it pales into comparison to the other way around. So on Monday at 7 o'clock, we're going to delve a little bit deeper into this. And, so go to the Black Man Unfiltered Network at 7 o'clock Eastern, and let's talk about it. We'll have a panel discussion. Some people will come up and we'll talk back and forth. Some men who've been in that situation probably jump on and say, and give their horror stories. Hopefully, if there's some women who have their own horror stories, you're welcome as well. I got a couple of videos that I'm not going to play all the way through, but there's a couple of videos that's going to go along with that discussion on Monday at 7, of course. But like I said, like, share, subscribe to my channel because I have a lot of, this is like a preliminary, but I have a lot of different videos here on relationships, on politics, and on Wednesday I do a sports show. And you're all welcome to partake in all of that and comment on it and stuff like that. But you can follow me to the Black Man Unfiltered Network, and I'll say more about that on Monday at 7. But without further ado, let's go ahead and see a couple of clips. I'm gonna just give you a little bit of those clips. I'll put the full length clips in the description, but I'm not going to play them all the way through. Just a little bit of what we're going to talk about. The first clip is about some 10 myths of parental alienation, and I want to try to be fair-minded to say, hey, listen, these credible people who study this stuff don't just want to blame it on women, but they tell you some myths and stuff like that. So here, stay tuned.
About parental alienation. This video will examine 10 as presented by Dr. Richard Borshak.
Fair use, fair use.
Number 1, children never unreasonably reject the parent with whom they spend the most time. While it may seem reasonable that a parent who spends the most time with the child is protected from alienation, this is not consistent with research or clinical experience. Number 2, children never unreasonably reject mothers. This suggests that anytime a child rejects a mother, it must be the mother's fault. Not only does this belief harm mothers who have been alienated from their children, but it's not consistent with research and clinical experience. Number 3, each parent contributes equally to a child's alienation. A therapist might wrongly think, when both parents are mad at me, I did a good job. This belief can make professionals feel that they are being fair and unbiased, but this idea is not consistent with research.
I just want 10 of them. I just wanted to give you 3 of them. And, if you show up on Monday, you can see the rest of it, or you can hit the link. I'll put that in there. But you should show up anyway if you want to be part of the panel discussion. I just wanted to give you a brief taste of what's going on. And what we're going to do is stop sharing that. The next video that I was going to show is a snippet of a court case where the mother is at fault and what's going on in that court case. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I'm going to give you a little taste of that because this is what I'm going to show on Monday. And this is very real. Right, but you got to listen. The judge is going to say something in this that will show you that he's fair-minded.
Over and over again, what I believe to be absolutely true, Mr. Cook dearly loves his children. If that were the case, he'd have given up a long time ago, given the many, many obstacles that Ms. Spar has thrown in the way over the years, trying to interfere with Mr. Cook having a reasonable parental relationship with his children. And frankly, what I'm seeing is direct parental alienation by Ms. Spar. She is instilling fear in her children. She is telling them things that they should never need to hear. She is instilling fear in them. And she's done damage as a result of that. Kids don't need to hear one parent trashing the other. And Mr. Cook, you're guilty of that. You're guilty of trashing their mother to them. She's guilty of trashing you to them. All it does is create harm.
All right, so I'm going to stop that short right there. So he didn't absolve the father completely, but he also recognized that the woman has the lion's share because she has his daughters. And there must be a lot of evidence on the table to show that she is the bigger aggressor in this situation. And we're going to examine this whole full thing and what he's going to try to do as a judge to put them back on track in terms of how to help, how to share and work better for the children. So that's cool. And then the last one I'm going to show is just a small snippet of a guy who's been through the ringer, who's been alienated, actually done jail time, and found a way to fight back and not only win, but win significant custody of his children and things of that nature when he was able to use the laws of the state that he's in. And so that one is an interesting thing. I'm not going to play his thing. It's a little longer, but I may play 1 or 2 clips on Monday of his talk. And, so this is what men are going through with child. It's not good for the children. It's not good for society as well. I mean, society hurts when this happens. Well, anyway, so here's the last one, and then I'm going to kind of end this because I want to keep it short. All right, so here goes.
System that works. Okay, folks, Steve Mayeda here. We are on our Rising Man call. It's Friday. It is the 24th of February when we're recording this 2023, and it is just nuts. One of the things that I want to tell at least men out there, but also women who are watching this who want to learn how to protect their kids, or women who don't want to make the mistake and abuse your kids by keeping the fathers away, or men, vice versa, all this sort of stuff. Look, the information out there about divorce and custody, especially for men, has been so harmful. I'm super hypercritical of it. I've been critical of it since 2016, about the red pill, about men's rights activists, about all these different groups. And the reason for that is I have lost bigger than most of you guys in terms of false abuse claims. I also came back to beat it. I learned how the courts worked for I don't know how many years, at least since I've seen the red pill really take off. So I get it. The court systems are unfair. They do not treat things in a favorable way towards men. But if you know what to do, and if you're a man, and you want to learn how to fight, you need to learn how to fight. I did it. I teach guys over and over again in my courses. This year alone in 2023, we just had a guy beat 3 charges because he put in the work. He did the right things. It could have gone wrong in so many ways. He was prepared in all the different variables of how judges take it, other lawyers take it, witness testimonies, flaw things, judges cutting out different pieces of evidence. When you learn how to prepare yourself, when you learn how to go into a courtroom properly, you can beat false claims. You can beat this horrific thing of your kids being coached, lied to, parental alienation, and so on. And I really want to talk about it. What I've seen from the red pill, what I've seen from men's rights is horrific. Never going into a courtroom and learning how they work, never interviewing lawyers, never learning the system, never working with men on their cases, but only teaching them how to be victims, how to say it doesn't work and give up. I get it. It's stacked against you. I got screwed really bad. I didn't see my kids for 5 years. I wore the crown of a false claim of being a child abuser, which is a horrible thing to wear for 8 years. I served a full sentence for that, which wasn't 8 years of jail time. It was a short amount of jail time. It was a ton of community service. It was probation. It was all sorts of trash talking on me and all this sort of stuff. But man, I served it, and then I beat it.
Let me stop it right there. So this guy has been in the ringer. He's been in the mix. And, I guess you could go on the internet and research him if you want to, if it's necessary. He seems like he's sincere about what his experience. Yeah, he might be selling classes or some stuff like that. But, so what I want to do, if you look at the flow of this, I wanted to show, hey, let's talk about some of the myths and the misunderstandings. That's one. Let's show a case where a woman is being admonished for alienating her kids. I use the woman as experience because that's the vast majority of alienation comes from the woman, the estranged other half. And 3, I'm going to present with this guy some solutions on how men could fight back, and it would apply to women if they ever find themselves in that case or in that situation. So I'm not going to be long here. This is just a brief, I guess what they call trailer, coming attraction of what we're going to talk about on Monday. Might not be juicy or salacious, but it's very relevant to what's going on for men out there right now, especially since the Black community is riddled with single mothers and just wild kids, men and women all over the inner cities everywhere. And they are doing bad things, and they're in the news every day. Carjackings, falling out of school, fighting, deletions, drag racing, jail time, illegitimate children, generational curses, the whole 9 yards. Is because we don't have any more family units, or very dwindling family units in the Black subculture of America, which is, a horrible thing. So stay tuned Monday again, 7:00 p.m. on the Black Man Unfiltered Network. If you have some information to provide, show up. If you know who you are, we'll let you up on the panel or just be in the chat. Anyway, our pain, marriage, politics, and sports. Over and out.